Spin. Stretch.
It was a season to remember for the Roanoke Express, and it all started off as the 1997-1998 campaign under head coach Frank Anzalone, entering his 5th season guiding the Express ship, started off with a new look, a new mascot, and a new logo. It all was unveiled as the season opening ticket party started off at the Roanoke Civic Center.
And it should be more exciting. I think if people are patient with them through the first couple of months of the season, they'll be real pleased with what they see come the end. And maybe this is the year that we can go, all the way in the playoffs. I think that's really the ultimate goal of this franchise right now. We want to keep building on our success as far as bringing people into the building. But from a hockey standpoint, the only missing thing so far is that we've always had a successful winning team, but we've never taken it to that third or final round in the playoffs. So that's our long-term goal. And whether it happens this year or it happens a year or two down the road, I think we're all focused in that direction. We want to kind of give something back to this community for what they've done for us.
A jam-packed crowd of 8,700 viewed the first game on October 17th at the Roanoke Civic Center as the Express took on the Columbus Chill. The Express gained the victory 3-2 as Chris Cantu, the rookie, scored the winning goal, and he was a player to be reckoned with until he left the team later on in the season. Goalie Dave Gagnon, the veteran who has been such a mainstay for the Express, did the job in the nets, and a crowd of some 8,700 with the team, new uniforms, and a new look picked up victory number 1. As the season continued along, Coach Frank Anzalone was looking for players who not only were aggressive, but were able to put the puck in the net, play solid defense, and lead the team to victories. He was also guarded about the success of the team, and players played with a lot of heart, giving 150%, and game in and game out, showing that they were going to represent the Roanoke Express and its franchise very well.
We had, I thought we had a pretty good scrimmages, good exhibition games. We went into Wheeling. Wheeling wasn't as strong as they'd like to be, and we kind of just blew them away and came home. And I thought we played fairly well against Richmond and just lost the game. And then, we stood up for ourselves and played pretty aggressive against Hampton and won that game. So, I think we've made some strides as a team. We've been covering our system and working on things. So, I think we're going to be an okay team. I think we still maybe need a part or two to add to the team like everybody else does. But for the most part, the effort and the attitude's been really good, and there seems to be a determination in our team this year, just wanting to be able to do well despite the fact we've lost some pretty good hockey players.
Season went pretty well. We have a lot of young players that have a lot of potential. And I think it's going to be like every year. It's going to be a good, solid defensive team with the trap, with Frank's using the trap, and I think we'll be solid in goal. I think everybody knows that by now. It should be a good season. I think we should be in one of the good team of the league, and as long as everybody works together and works hard, we should be all right.
Probably I would put all my money on it right now. The best two goalies in this league. We're happy to have them back there. It makes a job and confidence a lot more. The offense part of it, I think, is going to come. We got some guys here that can put the puck in the net. Given time, sure, we're a bit young up front, but I mean, give us a chance. I think that we'll be able to do it. And with, like you said, the defense and the two goalies, we should pull a few games off.
Absolutely, Dave. We're looking forward to it. The Express, of course, being in the playoffs every year, and it looks like Frank Anzalone's put together a heck of a team again this year, along with Pierre Paymont. And we're excited about covering the Express as they battle for that playoff spot.
That's him. That's the guy.
Roanoke Express.
That you know, for the most part, we we accomplished what we set out to do, and that was to try and pick up points, and we did that. We picked up 4 points in the 2 games. I thought in both games, Columbus as well. We basically did a real good job for the first 2 periods, maybe 2 periods and a quarter, And then it just seemed like when we thought we had the game in hand, or when we thought we had control of the game, which we'd like to see be done, we, be able to take the opponent, have the lead in the third period, and be able to sort of check and hold them at bay. It seemed at that point we started to panic. You saw some of the youth in our lineup.
Play and penalty killing. How have you felt that's starting to come along?
Well, obviously we've been struggling this year so far in special teams, and that's a huge part of the game. And you got to be good on special teams, or basically you won't win. So hopefully we're on the upside here to try to get things going, and hopefully we can only go up because we can't get much worse.
As far as it, I know sometimes it seems when a team all of a sudden does snap back, maybe get a couple power play goals, it seems to carry momentum. Do you see that maybe happening if you can sort of snap the thing, if then all of a sudden you get some strings where it works pretty well?
Yeah, if we can snap the things, we'll be fine. We'll get our confidence back, and we'll enjoy being on special teams. But when you don't have confidence in your special teams, you hate to see penalties called almost.
The Roanoke Express continued to move along in the season. There were, of course, plenty of injuries because of the aggressive style and defensive style of play of the Express under Coach Frank Anzalone. And players came and went, whether it be through injuries, trades, or call-ups. But the main core of the team stayed together, stayed focused, and helped the hockey team gain victory after victory en route to the Northeast Division Championship. Indeed, it was a season to remember.
had a great time. From the minute I got here, the guys accepted me and they brought me in, opened their arms to me. So it's been a little bit easier that way, and the systems work good to my style of game. And I've been fortunate enough to be put with two good wingers, and we've been lucky and got some points for the team. So it's been pretty successful.
IR list right now, which on the injured reserve, but my knee's a little sore. I take it day to day. You know, I've had a few problems with it. I heard it in the summertime, and I just been working at it and doing physiotherapy on it. And it's more of an agony thing that just keeps bugging me a little bit here and there. And the more I work on it, the better it gets. And it's come a long way since the beginning of the season.
But one thing that Frank and Pierre, who I interviewed for the article, both brought out was that there is still quite a difference in junior and college to the ECHL. And Frank in particular was saying some of the guys that come into the league don't respect the ECHL, and they're not ready for the physical play, the level of competition. The players are a little bit older. So, yeah, they're a little bit more mature, but they still have a ways to go.
And the thing about you all...
Especially guys, pardon me, especially guys that haven't played in the league before and aren't used to so many games during the week. And but you know, we're gonna just have to play hard every night and hope we can win a bunch of them. And you know, the way we're playing, we should do that.
You know, the one good thing is that you have to feel positive about is that the team actually has done pretty well on the road.
Yeah, I think we're 500 on the road, or maybe one game under, which is pretty good. We'd like to be 500 or a little better, obviously, but you know, it just takes time for the guys to feel each other out and know how we can play together. And, you know, as I say, it'll take some time.
And one other thing, I know that certainly, of course, Todd Norman back, Mike Perron has been a good pickup, so it seems the team starting to get used to each other and that type thing, which should help down the stretch as well.
Yeah, and, you know, we're glad to have Normie back. He's a great player, a great young guy, and, you know, it's too bad for him that he is down here on a personal note, but as far as us looking at him, we're just really happy to have him here, and maybe he'll start scoring some goals for us.
One of the main reasons for the Roanoke Express winning the Northeast Division Championship was because of two great goaltenders, veterans who helped lead the Express to victory after victory and kept the Express in games throughout the season. We're talking about Dave Gagnon and Daniel Bertillon. Gagnon and Bertillon were the best tandem in the East Coast Hockey League and also helped lead the Express to one of the best defensive years ever. In fact, an East Coast Hockey League record of only giving up 2.97 goals per game. It showed that defensive style and the ability of the Express goaltenders Dave Gagnon and Daniel Bertium to do their job and do it in a first-class manner.
And with Darren Abbott, the play-by-play man for the Roanoke Express. And Darren, 3 games, 2 shootout wins and a shootout loss, but nonetheless 5 points. That's got to be a big plus. And some of your feelings doing the play-by-play on those games.
Well, it certainly was a big weekend for the Express, and the main reason for that was all 3 games were against division opponents, so they take 5 out of a possible 6 points. The only blemish right here on Thanksgiving night when they lost to the Hampton Roads Admirals in a shootout. All 3 games in a shootout. Danielle Berthium comes through in the clutch with Dave Gagnon hurting a bit. Berthium comes through, wins 2 straight shootout games, and the defense was outstanding the entire weekend. They only let in 3 goals against Hampton Roads, including the shootout goal. 1 goal up there in Hampton Roads, and then 2 goals back here against Johnstown. So outstanding defense all weekend long, and outstanding goaltending and some big points.
Hey, and you know something else? We talked about this Saturday night, but certainly the penalty kill has been very good of late for the Express.
Well, the penalty kill on the weekend was 7 for 8, and 2 power play goals on the weekend, so the power play is coming along as well. But the penalty kill was outstanding, and the games back here at the Roundhouse, there wasn't even any chances on goal, and that's really what you want, just to keep the puck out. They weren't letting the other teams get it set up at all, and things went really well that way.
The Roanoke Express were not afraid to get involved in fisticuffs as well. They had plenty of activity on the ice in that department, and they were led by the likes of J.F. Tremblay, Jeremy Schaefer, and of course Captain Dave Stewart. And not only were the players involved, but you could also see referees getting into the activity as well.
Express and getting involved? Because I know you know a lot of the players, Coach Frank Anzalone and so forth.
Oh, Dave, that's part of the fun of it, is getting to know the players and the behind-the-scenes kind of things that go on. Like today, we're doing some of the heavy bag that the players work on to condition themselves for the rigors of the sport. You know, we love covering the Express. When you have about 6,000 fans coming out to this place day in and day out to see these guys play, you know that the fans want to see how this team is doing. So that's really the focus of our coverage and why we do so much with this team. And it's exciting. I mean, you got to admit, hockey here in the Valley is exciting.
And we're pleased to have with us Corey Peterson. And Corey, you've been doing a good job for the Express, and you got to feel good too about the stretch the Express have had, playing good hockey, getting some wins, and showing that they are certainly a team to be reckoned with in the Northeast Division.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at the weekend we had this weekend. We had Hampton Roads back-to-back. I mean, for them to come in and take a point out of ours was a little disappointing, but to go in there and win in a shootout was, I think, a great feat for the team. You know, we had a second game in 2 nights. We went in there, worked hard, and I think the team's starting to come together real well.
How about as far as
don't make a lot of money either, and I think our fans need to go back to being fans. They need to come to the games and not just cheer loud for the in-between period stuff, but give our players a boost. And I think when our players are in the 9th period of a weekend, boy, we really could use our fans. And I don't know what happened to me. I just tried to be part of the fans, to be part of them for one moment. I doubt I'll ever do that again. But the bottom line is that it was great to see the reaction, and it helped our players get the tie and go into the shootout. But our fans just don't realize how valuable they can be to our players.
Sunday night in Wheeling, the Roanoke Express looked like they were in trouble. 5 minutes to go in the game. They're still down 2-0 against Ole Sundstrom and the Wheeling Nailers. Wheeling Nailers come into the game in third place. Roanoke just 1 point behind them. Need to get the win on the road to take third place before Christmas. Then, all of a sudden, 14:52 in the third. Chris Cantu scores on a feed from Pete Brearley. The Express have cut it to 1. Shortly thereafter, Jeff Loader from Brearley again. He buries it past Ole Sundstrom, and then the Roanoke Express would need one more to win. They get it from who else? Michael Perron. The Express go on to win. Danielle Bertzium, 23 saves in the victory, and the Express take third place, and they head home for the holidays.
Thing is, when you think about the Corrosion Children's Center, the Lee Cook Scholarship Fund, the Faith Fridays, those are the type things that I think are important for any franchise to be a part of.
Yeah, you get kind of caught up in this stuff, Dave. You know, when you're out there and you're watching the team play and you're cheering real loud for them or yelling at the referees, and you get caught up in all the little things. But really what this is about is being part of a community. And being part of a community, especially around the holidays, you like to think of your responsibility to people and those that are less fortunate, and also, you know, just the family type of thing that you want to think in terms of your kids and your parents. And we consider ourselves, like I said, part of this Roanoke family, part of the city. We're hopefully becoming an institution here where people look to us for some leadership too. So it's the time of the year we reflect on those things and think about the things that make this all important.
Well, Joe, not only a happy holiday to the fans, but a happy holiday season to you, my friend.
Oh, thanks. I enjoy the holidays particularly because I'm one of the main cogs in this organization.
Here with Pierre Paymont, the general manager of the Roanoke Express, and of course Pierre announcing that he'll be giving up the ship, so to speak, after some 5 years with the Express. So some of your feelings on it, Pierre.
Well, I felt that it was time for me to do something like I said, I mentioned in my press release, to increase my personal growth. I felt like I've done what I needed to do, what I set up to do. I think we want to put Roanoke back on the map as far as the hockey program. I think we have very well successfully done that. You know, you remember the time where about 5 years ago when people were being traded in Roanoke, some of them would quit and refuse to report. Now Roanoke is known as a very solid program. Sometimes now people call us, they want to play here because they know that we treat the player very well, that we have a solid and sound franchise, and we're here to commit. We have done I call a professionally done hockey in the Valley. So it took us 4 or 5 years to do that. I think now it's just a matter of keeping the ship running, and I feel like for me it was time to move on to something else.
You know, the thing is, you've come full circle. You were a player, of course, owned a restaurant in the area, and then a general manager. Of those, do you have any choice as to which one you like the best?
Oh, I tell you what, I had some fond memories of being a player here. It's always nice. But, you know, one thing I noticed is I played here in 1973-74, 72-73, 73-74, and the fans of the Booster Club were great. 20-something years ago, the same thing is nothing has changed. The fans are very supportive to the players. We have one of the best booster club in the Valley. Fans are inviting players over for dinner. Nothing has changed, and it's still a very good place to play hockey, and I think it's going to stay like this for many years to come.
Well, Pierre, whatever you do, I know folks wish you the best of luck because you've certainly been a credit to the Express organization, to hockey in the area, and we look forward to keeping abreast of what happens whenever you do hang it up.
And I want to tell everybody who has been supportive, the fans, the sponsor, the companies, that I've really enjoyed working with them, and it's been a pleasure from day one to be involved with the Express and to be part of the community and to have seen hockey grow the way it has grown the last 5 years. So thank you, everybody, and I certainly appreciate it. everything that people have done for us.
All right, thanks, Pierre. Greeting to the fans at home.
Well, I do. I want to say, I think more than anything, though, is I'm into this, have a safe holiday and have a healthy. There's so many people that are not healthy, so many people that don't have things. You know, Merry Christmas is fine, but hey, I hope you have a safe and happy New Year, and I hope family members that are ill and young people that aren't feeling well and unfortunate people, the kind of thing that Slam Duncan did for the kids. You know, I hope that everybody has a little bit of something, whether it's good health or a present. The Merry Christmas just goes along with it.
Okay, Frank, and we'll see you New Year's Day, my man.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't really looked that far into the schedule. You know, I know we have a rough January, but we're trying to take one game at a time, you know, and just do the best we can in each one of those games. And you're just trying to, you know, got to keep winning because everybody in our division's winning. Now Wheeling continues to win. Huntington's winning now. Johnstown's doing better. Look at Chesapeake now. They're playing great. So, you know, playoffs are really guaranteed in the first half of the season.
The Roanoke Express were not only outstanding players on the ice, but off the ice as well. They volunteered many hours to the Carilion Medical Center for Children, to schools, to church groups, to scout groups and the like, and they were led by their captain, Dave Stewart, who wrapped up his career with the Express as they won the Northeast Division Championship, and also other veterans like Michael Smith, who also announced his retirement, and Jeff Loader, who despite his size always gave over 100%, and you knew he was going to be involved in the action and causing a lot of activity on the ice. It wasn't all work and no play for the 1997-1998 Express team. They had plenty of jokesters, plenty of fun, led by trainer Mike Holden, but all the players got involved in shenanigans off the ice and showed that it was not only a team that could win on the ice, but have fun off the ice as well.
Are and what you're doing here.
I'm Corrine. I'm Alicia. I'm Dana. I'm Lori.
And how have you all enjoyed the tournament so far?
It's cold.
Well,
we're trying to.
Roanoke Express.
We lost 3 games out of 4. You don't have to hide your emotions. The bottom line is you know, we didn't win the games we were supposed to win. But I have to say honestly, In 3 of the 4 games, for sure, we outplayed the opponent. They even admitted it. We walked into Columbus. We outshot them by a huge number. They scored some opportunistic goals. We went into Peoria. We had them shut down defensively extremely well. At the 10-minute mark, we made 1 mistake on the trap, and Dave Valeras scored from the inside the blue line on Burt, and that turned the tide there. And then in Dayton, we outshot one of the top teams in the league, 38-20, and needed pucks off people's chests, crossbars, water squirted on me, and everything else to win the game in a shootout. But it's hard to win on the road, especially against talented teams like that. My feeling is we should have won in Wheeling, should have won in Columbus, and I thought the next 2 games would be hairy scary. We're just happy to finish up with the 2 points in Dayton because the guys played very hard. The bottom line still is that we don't score a lot of goals. Our power play has scored a little bit, but we just don't have snipers. And again, I think Chris Lipset said it on your last show. We have some guys here that should be 25, 30 goal men this year that are going to wind up with 18 because they're a little bit snake bit. But we had some real legitimate chances in those games to lead those games 3 and 4 to 1. And our goalies are playing on a very fine line. They give up 1 goal and the game could be over. So.
This season marked a first for the Roanoke Express, having a television show. Yours truly, Dave Ross, was pleased to be the host of that show and had some able assistance from the play-by-play announcer of the Express Radio Network, Darren Abbott. We enjoyed not only describing all the action and getting interviews, but having a fun time as well for this entire season. Are you involved in a lot of pranks with the team and so forth? Because I noticed a week or so ago, yours truly got a pie in his face, and I wondered what kind of involvement you had in that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You really don't? Okay.
I've never heard of such a thing like that, pie incident. I saw that on TV once, but no, I had nothing to do with it.
How about with the rest of your teammates? Are you fairly good with those guys or not?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm kind of funny guy sometimes. But out of the ice, no, just on the ice sometimes.
I'll tell you what, in comparison to what ESPN does, this show is probably the 2nd best show in America. They should just put signs up here, www. We want to win. Again, is the glass half full or half empty? And you just have to say it's half full, and hopefully it's nice chocolate milk and it tastes really good.
tough to kill the momentum that they have, and since we score after they do it, it kind of relieves some of the tension and the pressure, and that's what teams that win do.
Well, the thing is, I know at the first part of the season, Chris Lipsett was in somewhat of a scoring drought, but boy, he has come on like gangbusters, hasn't he?
Well, sure. Lipper's a real good player. He's got a lot of natural skill.
Another strong game against Raleigh, and it's important that I know the Express over the next month or two, a lot of games you're going to really have to dig down deep, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We got a lot of games, a lot of road games, and it's going to be tough. But when we get on the road, we have guys like JF that keep everybody happy and keep the team high-spirited and ready for games.
As far as JF, I guess it's good to have him back in the lineup, isn't it?
Well, some people think that. Yeah, JF did a great job tonight, and it's great that he's off the injured reserve. He came up with a couple big points tonight to help us win, and we're definitely going to be blessed by his toughness and his leadership.
Well, Mike, thank you, and we certainly thank JF as well.
Big points right now. You got to take as many points as you can get in January and February there, so that in March you can, get set for playoffs and maybe have a picture of who you're going to be playing or something like that, and try to get home ice advantage throughout the playoffs. So that's what we're trying to do right now, and get as many points when we can get them.
Have you been surprised at the success you've had against Richmond?
Not really. I don't get surprised when we succeed at things. I always think that we should win every game, and we just play hard against them every night, and as we showed last night, we came back and got a tie out of it at least, and when it looked like we were going to lose the game, and we ended up tying it, and that was very good. And hopefully the boys can keep it going, and we can grab a few more wins before the All-Star break.
And the other thing is that Chesapeake and Johnstown both are playing much better, so that in the Northeast Division you don't have anybody that you can figure, hey, this is going to be an easy night.
Yeah, you never really do, I don't think. If you're playing in this league, you got to be a pretty good player nowadays, and there's never an easy team. Every team builds and tries to get a good team together, and I think our division is always tough every year, and you got to always get 40, 45 wins to be anywhere in this division. So we got to keep striving for that and keep winning.
No, I didn't know much about the league at first, but as I grew up, I learned more and more about it, and I don't know, I could just say it's a good experience for me, and it's a great bunch of guys.
Currently, the score is tied. USA was down 5-3. What did the coaches say? You guys made a nice comeback.
We just got to start playing better a little bit defensively. The guys just got to play man-on-man, and I think we'll be okay defensively, and we'll get our chances offensively. Look at all the talent out there.
Well, you're certainly not worried about defense too much because you've already scored 3 goals around the net all night long. Chris Cantu, 3 goals and counting.
Yeah, maybe I'll get a few more chances, and hopefully I'll bury another one.
You play for the Roanoke Express, like I said. That's a very defensive-orientated hockey club. You're probably used to playing defense. You get a chance to open it up a little. Are you having fun?
Yeah, I'm having fun here. I'm really having fun.
That, of course, you also have coming up here in another week or so a long trip where you got to go to Toledo, Louisville, and some of those areas.
That's just that'll be really hard on the guys. So, we're just gonna try to chip away and get most of our wins right now. And big points right now are really important because when it gets down to the end of the season, that's playoff hockey, and you can start seeing it in some of the games right now. And you got to get as many points right now and hope for the best at the end.
He didn't waste. I was on him.
Oh, I think things are going well. You know, the team just has to keep working hard and playing Frank's system, and that's our key to winning right now. We have to follow the system, and a couple games we got away from it, and we saw that we were going to get beaten. So we just got to get back to the system, and right now we got a lot of games. There's not a lot of time to practice.
What with the old-timers game, and that was a great chance for fans to see some of the old-timers as the Roanoke team of past Roanoke stars took on a team from Carolina, and Roanoke coached by Henry Brabham. The Carolina team was coached by Pat Kelly, and when all was said and done, the Roanoke team unable to come up with the victory as Carolina won it 7-4. They had a much younger team, needless to say, and so those tired legs with the likes of Claude Pichet, Pierre Paymont, Don Rosich and company just couldn't quite do it, and the victory goes into the hands of the Carolina team, as we say, coached by Pat Kelly. But all in all, a lot of fun for the various folks involved in the old-timers game, and I think the fans certainly enjoyed that. The Express naming 10 into that Hall of Fame. It went like this: Colin Kilburn, of course, one of the pioneers of hockey in the area; Henry Brabham, the godfather of the East Coast Hockey League; Pat Kelly; Serge Baudouin, along with the likes of Pierre Paymont, Claude Pichet, Mike Keenan, who is now the coach of Vancouver, and of course won a National Hockey League Stanley Cup championship with the likes of the New York Rangers; Dave Schultz, the man who was so instrumental in the Broad Street Bullies from Philadelphia winning a couple of NHL Stanley Cup championships; and John Gagnon, the owner of the Roanoke Express in the early years, all of them going into the Roanoke Hockey Hall of Fame, and as we say, 10 inducted into it, and congratulations to each of them.
Now we're working hard and we're doing the systems, and that's the biggest thing for us right now. We're getting good goaltending, and we're getting a lot more goals. Goals are starting to come. We're getting some bounces, and the power play's working a little better too.
Are you pleased to have Chris Cantu back?
Really happy. You know, he adds a good punch to our team, a lot of scoring, and he's just a really good player for us, and we're really happy to have him back.
Getting off early in the game as Tim Christian scoring just 1 minute and 21 seconds into the game. That gave the Express the 1-0 lead. Then Chris Lipset came back, scoring goal number 2, and the Express were off and running with a 2-0 lead. The Express added goal number 3 in that first period to take a 3-0 lead, as coming up with the third goal was Patrick Charbonneau, and that's how we stood after 1 period of play. The Express held on to that 3-0 lead until the third period, when things started to come apart for the Express. Martin Massa scoring 2 goals for the Johnstown Chiefs, and on one of those goals, losing it was Daniel Bertium, the goaltender. He fired the puck, and it inadvertently hit Koharski, the referee. He was given a game misconduct and was out of the game. Dave Gagnon came up and did the job the rest of the way. The Express scoring 2 more goals as they got goals from Jeff Loader and Dave Stewart to round out the 5-2 victory. So the Express with an impressive win, as we say, before some 4,000 fans. With us and Slam, you have the key to the city on you, and that's a great honor, but for a great guy.
Well, Dave, who would have thunk it? A bum like me getting the key to the city. But I'm extremely proud of this, and the coolest thing about it was about an hour after the mayor presented it to me, I was able to call my grandmother in Alabama and kind of brag to her about the key, and she was very proud, and that meant the world to me.
It was a year of memories for the Roanoke Express, marking the 5th year of the franchise history. It also marked the end of the tenure of Pierre Paymon as general manager of the Express. Paymon announcing that he would be going into business for himself over at the ice station. It also meant the end of another mainstay, Shirley Woolwine, and it also meant the eventual loss of Frank Anzalone, a coach whose record speaks for itself, leading the Express to great seasons year after year, including 5 playoff appearances and the Northeast Division Championship this past season. Anzalone got a well-deserved opportunity with the American Hockey League Lowell franchise, and he moved on to lead that team to the AHL campaign next season. Also joining him was Mike Holden, who was an outstanding trainer with the Express. So it marked the end of an era for the Express, and a new era began when Tony Mancuso, who had great success at Tallahassee and Toledo, was hired on as general manager of the Express. The Express looked forward to the 1998-1999 campaign, but they will not soon forget the Northeast Division Championship and a great run for the 1997-1998 team. Remember, you can become a part of the Express team for this season. Get your season tickets or group ticket information by by calling the Express office at 989-4625. Be a part of the Express train next season as they move toward what they hope will be another outstanding campaign.
Okay, I'm glad I paid her to say that. And Shirley, as you look toward the playoffs, what do you think? How far can the Express go?
All the way.
Arch rival Richmond in town, a jam-packed house, second largest crowd in franchise history to watch the Roanoke Express and the Richmond Renegades, and the Express do it early. Chris Lipsett on a short-handed goal puts Roanoke up front, and then more special teams. The second goal of the game, it was J.F. Tremblay on the power play. The Express would rattle off 3 more in the game and go on to beat Richmond by a score of 5-2. Sunday's game against the last place Johnstown Chiefs. Easy game, right? No, the Chiefs force a shootout as the Express once again have to go to sudden death. This time, Dave Gagnon is the story in the nets for the Roanoke Express. He stops all 6 Johnstown Chiefs shooters in the shootout, and the Express win it when Pete Braley finally beat Steve Plouffe for the win in the 6th round. 6 points out of 6 on the weekend, and the Express can celebrate. They're in first place by 9 points over the Wheeling Nailers.
Our guys stood tall in the shootout, and that kind of propelled us to better effort against Richmond. We were really good against Richmond in front of a great crowd. And then in the Sunday game, we were a little bit tired, a little bit flat. Johnstown was too. It seemed like it could be anybody's game, and we seemed to be in control of the game, not getting a lot of shots, but good shots. Their goalie, Plouffe, played really good in the game, and again, that one came down to a shootout when we took a bad penalty late in the game on a holding call and killed off the penalty, but then with like a second left, they got a flipper that went in. So, but we won in the shootout, and shootouts are part of this league, and we've been good at them this year, and so that propelled us back in front in our division, and at least we're on some kind of winning streak.
Yeah, it's nice to get a few points here and there, but my main game is to be physical out there, so I just got to stick to my game plan, and when points come, I just bonus for the team.
Well, and the thing is, too, that's been the main thing about the Express all season long is don't have, shall we say, a lot of stars or anything, but a very good team concept.
Yeah, I think we do. We all gel together. We have good chemistry on and off the ice, so I think that's the main reason for our success.
Roanoke Express were well represented at the East Coast Hockey League All-Star Game in Louisiana, where Chris Cantu, the rookie for the Express, scored a hat trick and was named the MVP of the Northern Division team. Cantu was a mainstay and was called up to the American Hockey League after that and eventually left the team. But despite that, and players who had injuries, trades, and the focus of retirement of Dave Stewart, the team continued to drive toward the Northeast Division Championship, and that's exactly where they ended up, with 42 victories and 93 points when the 1997-1998 campaign ended.
Huntington came into the Roundhouse, not a big crowd, never is in the first round of the playoffs. A Tuesday night, 2,000 fans on hand in the Roundhouse, but they would not be disappointed. The Roanoke Express playing outstanding hockey. They got on the board quickly. Mike Perron taking the feed from Tim Christian. After the shot by Dave Stewart, the Express led it 1-0. The Huntington Blizzard would come back to tie, but then Perron answered. Just 30 seconds later, Perron out from behind the net. Once again, Christian fed him at the side. Perron circles out from behind. He beats Chad Lang. The Express lead it 2-1. Just moments later, Travis Smith, just his third goal of the season, but a blast that beats Chad Lang high to the glove side. 3-1 Roanoke. Some excitement in the third period. Dave Gagnon from behind his net shoots at the length of the ice. It misses by 6 inches. Michael Smith would not miss. He scores the empty netter with 11 seconds to go, and the Express win Game 1 with Game 2 to be played Friday night in Huntington. One of the keys to any playoff run is goaltending. You can look at it. Dave Gagnon has been the Kelly Cup or the East Coast Hockey League playoff MVP twice in his career. Jason Fitzsimmons last year. Nick Vitucci has been the playoff MVP as well. Goaltending is key. They have Gagnon and they have Bertzoum. And tonight against the Huntington Blizzard, Dave Gagnon, 33 saves, absolutely stood on his head for the Roanoke Express. Time and time again, Huntington would gain the momentum, and there was Dave Gagnon to bail out the Express. The only problem Frank Anzalone has between these two goalies is how to decide who gets to start. And it's never for negative reasons. It's always positive, 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 as it has been all season long. And the fans on hand at the Roundhouse in Tuesday night's game against the Blizzard got to see some outstanding playoff goaltending. If Dave Gagnon can keep it up and Bert gets in the net and plays as well as Gagnon did tonight, the Express can go a long, long way.
The Roanoke Express moved into the playoffs in the first round, taking on Huntington. The Express winning 3-1. Again, important cogs to the victory for the Express were the goaltending tandem of Dave Gagnon and Daniel Bertillon. The Roanoke Express moved on to the second round of the playoffs to meet their arch rivals and very much antagonistic rivals, the Hampton Roads Admirals. The Express won the first two games of the series, but the Hampton Roads Admirals were not about to give up. The Admirals came roaring back, winning 3 games with a lot of controversy. When Coach John Brophy got involved in some altercations after one of the games that saw the Admirals win, it meant the suspension of J.F. Tremblay and Daniel Bertium, which hurt the cause of the Roanoke Express. The Express lost in the 5th and deciding game in a heartbreaker 3-2 in overtime to Hampton Roads. The Admirals eventually went on to win the East Coast Hockey League Championship for the 97-98 campaign.